Going to grab that one for himself. We already talked about it's his most played of the split, and he looks stupendous on it. It's going to be answered with an Ashe coming on through here, and we could have a double Freljord lock-in, because this Volibear has been very high priority for the side of JDG. Not as high priority for FPX, but they're happy to take it away from their opponents.
And you still got that flexibility there, so it is a nice red side pick here, but as you said, taken away from Zoom, but when you look at JDG right now, hey, we got the Aphelios, we can go towards something like the Ornn here and go and scale towards that super late game where FPX's decision-making in that mid to late game have been massively questionable as of late, so why not push them to that uncomfortable spot?
Absolutely. So we've got incredibly solid bot duo coming through here for JDG with the Thresh and the Aphelios. I'd argue probably one of the most heavily prioritized bot lane duos available, and then with a Twisted Fate here for Yagao. Suddenly, this looks real good for JDG, but the Sylas here to answer for Doomby.
The instant lock-in from Doomby as well. So, myself and Munch were having a look at
yes.
Doomby's solo queue just before we came onto the cast. Of the last 13 games he has played, 9 of them, I think it was, have been on Sylas. Like, it is a crazy high number. Doomby loves this Sylas pick, and it's beautiful into the Twisted Fate as well, because you can just steal away that Destiny and come join him in whatever party he's going to.
Or you can steal the Destiny and get over there before he can.
True.
Like, if you hit level 6 before he does, you can still steal the ult. You can still get out of there. Let's take a look at the rest of the bans, though, as the Lee Sin taken away from Kanavi, which, as you rightly said before, he's incredible on it. Get it away from him. The Grave's going to be banned as well, as Tom Kench was removed from that bottom lane duo.
They're just trying to remove any sort of safety here for the Ashe in that bottom lane, especially when you've got the Twisted Fate. I mean, Tahm Kench is such a pain for you to deal with when you're trying to make these picks, so getting rid of that to make sure things are all nice and dandy. Could even go towards something like the Braum as well in this bottom side if they wanted to, but okay. I mean, if you wanted to signal that we're going for Ornn here for JDG, that's it right there.
Yeah, we've seen this before. They banned the Kayle, and it's like, look, Zoom's playing Ornn. You already knew Zoom was going to play Ornn. Like, is anyone surprised that Zoom's going to play Ornn? Not really. Over to the side of FPX here. So they're hovering on towards supports, trying to set something up for Crisp and LWX.
Yeah, the Braum we just talked about, look, it works super well when you're trying to, well, oh, never mind. I was going to say block the Ornn, but they want to go for a little bit more of an engage in that bottom lane. A lot of CC now for the Ashe, for that Nautilus, and you're looking at a very hefty team fight here for FPX where they are spiking super early and they're looking to jump in on top of you, long-range engage from Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and dive duo in Tian and Doinby's lock-in so far.
To the surprise of no one, the Ornn is finally locked in for Zoom. And now the big question is what goes into this jungle for Kanavi. His Lee Sin was taken off the board. His Nidalee, his Graves, all banned away. So we could go back to things like the Kindred.
Yeah, I would love to see the Kindred here. I think when you've got the high dive potential that you're seeing on the side here, coming through from the Volibear, from that Sylas, having something that can just reset the fight a little bit, give you a little bit of wiggle room could be great, but hey, he wants to go for a little bit more of the punch now, ask questions later.
Yeah, a little bit more playmaking and a little bit more frontline to protect Loken once again. Let's remember, Loken really is the focus of JDG in this split. On the other side, Khan goes for the Gangplank. This is something we've seen 1,000 times over the years.
But this is great for Khan, because not only is it a good matchup in that top lane, you can get to scale, you've got a reasonably easy time there, you also set up your dive guys super well, because all you want to do is have Tien and Doomby jump onto Loken. Aphelios hates Cannon Barrage. He finds it so difficult to maneuver around because obviously he's got no dashes, no escapes. So you are now disabling Aphelios' ability to run away, and you're getting that dive potential set up beautifully here from your jungle and mid lane.
We'll see if they can set up for that dive. There's a lot of pick on both sides as well, with the Twisted Fate coming in for Yagao, but also things like the Ashe and the Sylas here for the side of FPX. There's a lot of ways to make these plays happen. And I'm really curious who's going to be the one to put their foot forward in this mid-game, because whoever can get a snowball rolling really could run away with this.
And what I like here, just on that snowball point, is that FPX have the potential to go for that, and it's been one of the big gripes I have with FPX drafts at the moment, is that it doesn't feel like they're playing towards their strengths, which is, hey, let's get Doomby onto something that he can make some plays with. Let's have LWX and Crisp on these early game champions, these early game AD carries, so we can look to make plays on this bottom side. I mean, that's what made them famous at Worlds 2019. Now they're going back to their roots with this draft, and you've got Khan, who's just going to be free to farm up on that top side and join in with the Cannon Barrage.
It's time to jump into this series, the final series of the week here in the LPL. It's JDG up against FunPlus Phoenix. This is the modern day grudge match here in the LPL. JDG more recently have been getting some of the more important wins, but the most recent time these guys faced was at the Mid-Season Cup, and it was FPX that came out on top.
And they always push each other to the limits. We always see them really taking it every single blow back and forth, and here again today we'll get to see these two titans of the LPL face off against each other. And as we said, look, FPX, if you look at the bottom four members, they are looking to get a nice advantage for themselves in and around these dragons, really set themselves up for these aggressive plays. And even if you look at Tian and Doomby, they can really take it to Yagao in this mid lane, who actually has gone for the Ignite. He wants to go aggressive himself.
And he's not gone for the Unsealed Spellbook. He's gone for the Comet in that lane. So Yagao, this is a way more aggressive Twisted Fate build than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and it says to me that what they're looking to do is have Kanavi play to this mid lane. They just want to shut down Doomby, and especially when you've got the gold card into the phase rush and you've got a lot of chase down potential on JDG's side, they just want to ruin the day for this Sylas.
The question will be if they're able to do exactly that, because Doomby, as you mentioned before, plays a whole bunch of this Sylas. This is not a pick that he's going to be new to here in the mid lane. And if any of you guys have watched his stream, he sometimes streams on the FunPlus channel on YouTube. The man's a menace. He's a monster. He just takes over a game from the mid lane with this Sylas.
So we'll have to see how Tien wants to try and, with this information, play around this mid lane. You can see actually JDG already setting themselves up to try and spot out where Tian's going to be, but he snuck in on the back line.
That ward ain't going to help you here because Tian's already in the mid lane. He's a level ahead of Yagao. He's going to be moving in to try and make the play. Doing B. Don't know if he has his E. He does. Forces the flash out of Yagao. And you know what? FPX are happy with that. They've got a flash and they go home.
This is great for Doomby as well because he stops that crash. So look where Doomby's frozen this wave at the moment now. It will slow push back out, but it does mean that Tian can at least clear his jungle and then come and help escort Doomby in shoving this wave in. So as of right now, Kanavi doesn't actually have a way to get in and try and pressure Doomby in that middle.
It's going to be difficult to get in. Obviously with the set as well, quite often it can be hard to find the right opportunities unless someone over pushes and finds a way out. I'm curious about the top lane matchup as well, as we do have a ton of scaling across the board here, both in that Aphelios in the bottom lane, but both Ornn and Gangplank going to scale exceptionally well. But later on into the game, Gangplank definitely going to have the advantage in the side lane.
And you can already see, like, look, he's going to have the advantage in lane as well. He's got so much poke, and we've seen these dives before.
No way are they diving at level 4 under the tower. They go Zoom with the flash, but it's not going to be enough. Tian gets out of the tower. That's a first blood for Khan.
And Zoom tried to stop this wave from pushing in because he was a little bit worried about the dive, but he actually took so much damage from Khan. He set up Tien to go for this play, and it means that with Kanavi down to this bottom side, already FPX are making plays happen.
And you know what? Zoom still used his flash. Even though he went down, that flash is on cooldown, so there's plenty of opportunity for Tian to make a repeat gank. And next time around, that tower might not be able to exist.
Might also be a few more members coming that way as well. Like, don't forget, Doomby has this teleport. He can also steal away that Destiny from Yagao. There is so many options here from FPX to double down on these aggressive plays topside, but we'll have to see if they are going to be able to make that happen and keep their foot on the accelerator here.
And I'm just excited that we get to see FPX running a composition that wants to just go in for most of the game, because what's the biggest criticism we've had of FPX is that sometimes they're going in a little too aggressively when they shouldn't be. So why not just draft a composition that wants to go in? Then you can't be too aggressive.
Exactly, and that's what we wanted to see from FPX, and we're getting it in this game. This is exactly the style of composition I was looking for FPX to go for, and at the moment, they've been able to execute with Tian going towards this top side, but don't forget, JDG, they're looking to scale. They've got an Ornn, they've got this Aphelios as well. They're looking for these later game fights. They're also waiting for Yagao to hit that level 6 mark, so he's got the Destiny where he can influence plays on the side lanes as well, but at least in the early stages, JDG are taking a little bit of a beat.
You know how everyone always talks about how Ornn at level 3 or so will have pressure in most lane matchups, blah, blah, blah. Not against Gangplank. this is not a fun matchup for Ornn at any stage of the game. Ornn never really gets an opportunity to get into that one unless he's getting ganks. We're going to 1v1 between Tian and Kanavi in the jungle. Tian going to win this one out ever so slightly, but realistically not a whole lot happens.
It's more Kanavi trying to give Yagao space to shove in for the Destiny play.
So is Crisp. Destiny comes in and Yagao trying to finish off Tian. The hook is there and they finish the kill. Now JDG have to try and get away from this one, but LWX in from the side as well. JDG have bitten off more than they could chew. Yagao somehow survived, but Kanavi won't be so lucky. Luma over the wall and Loken has to flash, but Crisp follows him, gets the root down with his passive. The rest of the team couldn't get in because of Gravity.
That was super back and forth on either side. And when all said and done, I mean, it's 1 for 1, but you could see the idea there from JDG. It was try and let Yagao push this wave in against Doomby, make sure Tian isn't trying to make any funny business happen, and then we can have Yagao make the play with the Destiny. But with Lumeo roaming up, they managed to get at least a kill back over in their favor, but one's returned onto Kanavi. And
just look at the summoner spells across the board right now. Everything is on cooldown, basically. It's just going to be a flash for Kanavi, a flash for Khan. Other than that, nobody else is going to get out of any tricky situations. So this could mean that everything slows down, or it could be a whole bunch of opportunities for FPX.
I actually didn't see the ultimate that Doomby stole. I don't think it was the Destiny from Yagao. So Doomby will have access to that Destiny way sooner than Yagao is, and can potentially make these sideline plays, but JDG don't want to give it to him.
He might just get gold carded, death sentence, face breaker, and everything else. But Doomby gets onto the backline, somehow onto Yagao, can't finish the kill though. JDG get a pick by the skin of their teeth. Now onto Tian, but Crisp and LWX have moved up once again. And, well, JDG, they do get away with that one in the end.
Welcome to the LPL A-Ram, apparently, in this game, because all our action is happening around this mid lane, but JDG are playing this beautifully. We said, look, Yagao is gone for this Arcane Comedy's gone for this Ignite. He wants to get rolling early. Well, he's picked up 2 kills for himself. He's shoving in this wave, stopping Doimby from being able to make any of these plays we talked about with, like, the Destiny and even with his teleport. Now, FPX, you can see, at least off of all this pressure, will pick up the Dragon, but that's not too big of an issue for JDG right now. They're more concerned about setting up Yagao to get out of this lane, and I mean, that's a damn early Rod of Ages as well for the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, that is about as early as they come. 8 minutes when he finishes his Rod of Ages, so he's going to be coming online a lot sooner than you would necessarily expect from a Twisted Fate. Fantastic news for JDG. And the big question is, oh, hang on, Zoom wants a 1v1 onto Khan in the top side? Or maybe just wants a bit of damage, I guess.
Trying to turn it around. I thought he was going to try and push against the wave instead and try and shove that one out, because Connor's going to be able to shove this one in, but Kanavi is coming up towards his top side. Will be spotted now, though.
Yeah, at least he gets to clear the ward for himself, so nothing too much going to be an issue here for JDG as Yagao moves towards the top side as well, just in case Khan didn't respect the play. But Kanavi is rewarded with a red buff.
So the thing is for Zoom, though, don't teleport. He also just used his Call of the Forge God as this Rift Herald is about to spawn. So I don't think Kanavi will be able to try and fight for this unless they want to try and make a pick with Yagao towards his top side. But already you can see FPX. They're moving up here. They've already got Crisp who's moving across. Doomby as well can just hoosh over and stop Kanavi from taking this objective.
Everybody on the map is getting their way over towards this. It's just going to be Zoom, who's in the bottom lane, doesn't have TP. So JDG could find themselves in a fight that they can't win, but they might just be able to finish this Herald off before Tian can get in. Eye of the Herald is there. Kanavi grabs it for himself. Will be able to pick up the Eye of the Herald, unlike earlier on in the split. And they will get away with this one. That was a little bit too close, and that was a lot committed for FPX to not get the Herald.
And I thought we'd see FPX pull the trigger a lot sooner. Khan has a cannon barrage, put some pressure onto JDG, so they're forced to back away, buy some time, but they weren't able to. Even when they saw Zoom on this bottom lane, they're still not comfortable enough to try and make this play happen. 4 versus 5 gone astray, and now Zoom has actually managed to crash this wave on the bottom side of the map while all that was going on.
Really nicely done here from JDG to read the map, and if there's one thing that I always say about JDG, it's they are the smartest team in the LPL. They will read the map and they will pull these kind of plays off. So beautifully done, as you'd expect, out of JDG. Tian knows that Kanavi wants this red buff though, and he's going to try and move in for the 1v1. In fact, he's just going to go for the smite instead. Vision was still there.
Was to be able to steal it away. Had the help of Doomby there, as you can see, stolen away a Destiny of his own. So would have been the 2 mid laners who were able to join in. And at the moment, hey look, FPX, even if they don't get that Rift Herald, are still putting some pressure into the enemy jungle, which is what we wanted to see, using the fact that COD is able to shove in the spot lane. He still has that cannon barrage to act as an extra half man in any of these engages. So I want to see if TN can at least keep this up and keep this pressure onto Kanavi.
Kanavi moving into the mid lane, but I think he realizes this ain't going to happen anytime soon. Doomb just going to clear the wave. So Dagda, while we've got a minute here, let's talk about the late game a little bit. Let's talk about what on earth these compositions want. Nah, we don't have time to talk about the late game. Doom's going in onto Zoom in the bottom side. He still has his splash available, but he doesn't have a whole lot of health to work with. TN's here as well. That tower's not going to help you. That's the wrong side of the map, my friend.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and you will get Zoom dropping, but this is what we were talking about for FPX, because going to your late game point, well, FPX are relying on Khan to be this late game damage and also split pusher for them, but honestly, I prefer JDG's comp when we get to the late game. They've the ability to wave clear super well against Khan through Yagao. Then you've got this massive engage coming through from Zoom. A late game of Felios with all these extra Ornn items as well is going to look great. And think about the way FPX's comp wants to operate. He said, Doomby going for a dive, Tien going for a dive. Even Crisp wants to get close and personal. Well, that's where Felios wants you. He wants everyone in on top of him so we can just dish out all that damage.
You definitely have to sometimes just favor the Aphelios when it comes to the late game. That second place, finally taken as Herald dropped on the top side by JDG. It's going to be Loken and Kanavi able to finish this one off. Doomby was able to answer with a couple of plates in the bottom side, but certainly can't trade the tower. So that is now going to be a gold swing in favor of JDG.
And this is how JDG want to play this. They got Yagao ahead. Great. He's now a side lane threat. Who's our next threat we need to get rolling on?
It's Loken. He has some damage in the bottom lane. Call of the Forge God comes out from him, gets the knock up onto Zoom. Tian's here as well. This tower doesn't get to exist with Volibear in the mix. They don't even need to ult the tower because they're just going to finish this kill. Now suddenly Yagao, he's bitten off way more than he could chew. Chased down by the entire squad. That death sentence pulls the support away. But Yagao somehow surviving everything here. I don't know how he's doing it, but finally jumped on down. And FPX now back away, back towards the tower because their entire squad is here.
And that tower is going to be able to go down on this next wave if they want to, but they can leave Khan here to just keep that pressure up. The rest of them can get control of this dragon if they want, but looks like they got their eyes on the tower instead.
And look at LWX, he's just shoved that wave out in the mid lane as well. He can now rotate towards the dragon. This is going to be the tower falling with one more auto. And FPX moving in towards the dragon pit. Yagao still not alive, so this is going to be gifted to FPX.
This is the FPX we wanted to see coming into today, though. Khan having priority in lane. Doomby able to shove out and have control of his lane as well. And FPX in these situations flourish. Now they've gotten two dragons for themselves. A nice gold lead, but maybe more coming.
Kanavi goes in for this one with the showstopper. Doomby pulled him by the hook. He's going to find himself a box onto Lumao. As the rest of the squad from JDG getting collapsed on by FPX. They are outnumbered and outgunned. A kill goes the way of LWX, which is the perfect target for FPX. As Loken, he wants to make a play for himself. Khan has to flash away. And I love to see that from Loken. I love an aggressive Aphelios.
But they went too aggressive. JDG didn't have the manpower. Yagao was lagging in the back line trying to make his way up river. And with that, they're able to turn this around. But Doomby, this was so much damage. You've only got armor on Zoom, I get it. But holy God, Zoom just got deleted.
And I mean, this is exactly what we said, right? This guy plays a lot of Silas, and he is an absolute menace to anyone who has to face him. He knows exactly how much he does. He knows exactly how much he can survive with the Kingslayer as well, and able to find these fights. And even Yagao survived for so long, but just can't get away from all the CC.
I love how FPX are setting these plays up, though, because you do have the Volibear who disables towers. You got Doomby who has access to the Destiny, a teleport of his own as well. So just matching and outmanning JDG in a lot of these scenarios means that they're able to pick up all these advantages. And look, we've now got a 1,500 gold lead going over in favor of FPX, and this next Rift Herald is about to spawn. Yagao is in this top lane, but you have teleports at least coming through for Zoom that could try and swing a fight over in favor of FPX.
And
or JDG.
This is exactly what I wanted from this series, Dagda. Back and forth as you like. Already 3 different times we've talked about how the gold is swinging backwards and forwards. It's FPX with a kill lead. It's FPX with a dragon lead. And they've got 1,000 gold in their pockets as well. And now with Herald spawning again shortly, you can see everybody moving to the top half of the map. Zoom has his teleport available.
So the thing is, FPX, as they start this up, do have to be careful. JDGs, we talked about having that teleport available. A lot of these first items have already come through for JDG as well. You look at the Infinity Edge, the Rod of Ages, very much stacking up for Yagao, but it looks like JDG, they're like, look, even though we may be able to force a numbers advantage, we're not comfortable fully committing to these plays where LWX is still pretty strong on this Ashe. You've still got Doomby, who looks monstrous on this Sylas as well. We're going to take this nice and slow and just try and avoid losses until we get to the 3-item point with our Felios, Infinity Edge, the Phantom Dancer, like everything buckled straight up onto him. You'll have the Twisted Fate, who will have the Lich Bane, who's completed, even working up towards like Azanya's Hourglass if he wants to go full side lane split push and full damage can go towards the Rabadons, but that's definitely where JDG are strong.
Just look at the gold graph on the left right now. LWX third from the bottom. Whereas where you look at Loken, he's over 1,000 gold ahead of his counterpart on FPX. So already a huge advantage in that bottom side of the map. And as you rightly mentioned, JDG, they don't need an advantage early in the bottom lane. They're going to outscale. They've got a Felios. We've all seen what a Felios does in the late game. They're more than happy with the way this game is going.
The thing here, though, as we start to move on later into the game, though, is that Yagao, if he doesn't have his Destiny up, is going to not have that as much of a side lane pressure. Because we usually see that Twisted Fate going for the teleport and for the Destiny, so he's always a threat in the side lane. But if Doomby is able to match Yagao in a side lane, steal the Destiny away, there's actually a brief window where Doomby has more pressure in his side lane because he will have the fallback of the teleport alongside stealing away that Destiny with the high jump.
LWX going to be able to just meet in the mid lane and clear this minion wave out, but look at the CS deficit in that bottom lane. We mentioned how Loken is very much the highlight player for JDG right now alongside Kanavi. LWX struggling to match up at least in the early game, but there's still plenty of time for him to pop off in this series. Him and his team have a 1.3 thousand gold lead, and that next Drake will be spawning in 45 seconds. They already got 2 for themselves, and you can see the positioning on the map. They're looking for more.
And this is great for FPX because look how strong they are right now. Blade of the Rune King completed for LWX. So he's super strong, and obviously that Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to set themselves up beautifully in a fight. You look towards the Zanya's Hourglass complete onto Doomby as well. He can go crazy deep on some of these plays and cause havoc in JDG's backline. TP coming in from Doomby now as they really want to set up for this Mountain Dragon.
Doomby arrived a little bit too late to get the blue buff. That is going to reset, unfortunately for them. Not going to make too much difference to anything. But Dragon now spawning in 5 seconds. Kanavi trying to get eyes onto anyone. Trying to get some vision before this fight starts.
And the beauty here for Doomby is he can not only steal away the Destiny we talked about, but he's got access to a Call of the Forge God as well. So he's a threat on a side lane and in team fights as well.
There you go, the Call of the Forge God grabbed by Doomby. And it's going to do a lot more damage than Zoom's does. Dragon started off, Destiny going to be channeled here. Yagao gets over to the backline alongside Zoom. They're looking to make a flank play. Rams charging everywhere across the map. Doomby getting straight onto Zoom, though, as the fight really kicks off, and LWX trying to follow up with the damage. In goes Kanavi. The haymaker on to LWX finishes the kill. FPX are faltering in the fight as Kanavi chased down, but FPX, they can't keep going on this one because they're getting surrounded. Kanavi somehow surviving. The Ignite is just about enough from Chris, but Khan falls. So does everybody. Tian, the only one remaining.
And JDG find the fight that they needed. Able to position in multiple different corridors means that they can't get all knocked up by the Call of the Forge God from Doomby. The flanks onto LWX, a crazy engage from Kanavi, and JDG come out on top.
And suddenly we see this scaling composition, winning fights in the mid game, which is not the best scenario for FPX.
Well, the thing here is, look, this crossplay where X marks the spot as to where a fight's about to happen actually favors JDG because Loken has now got nobody to touch onto him. He's also gets this massive Moonlight Vigil with the Infernum to take down 3 members of FPX to super low, and Kanavi as well. We talk about him being the playmaking jungler for JDG. You saw it there. LWX didn't have a chance in hell of getting out of there.
Yeah, Kanavi played that to perfection on this set, managing to make things happen with the showstopper, bringing people in with the facebreaker as well. And as you rightly say, Loken on the backside of that fight had no pressure on him the entire time. Moonlight Vigil across everyone, just throwing out autos, taking some kills for himself. dream scenario for an Aphelios.
And look how accelerated Loken is. Okay, cool. Got a kill.
Oh, hang on. Yagao flashes away, keeps himself safe here. It's going to be a long old cooldown on the flash. Baron is up on the map now.
I want to look back at Loken, though, because, look, he did get a kill, but he's already got that Infinity Edge. He's got that Rune's Hurricane. Cole is popped for him. He is so strong right now, and he's got a 50 CS lead over LWX. He is so strong relative to FPX's AD carry, and that's why we've been so disappointed with LWX and Crisp as of late, because they keep losing these fights where, honestly, they should be the ones with the advantage right now.
It's not even about fights either. It's just like, he just has a straight-up CS lead. DoomB now, once again, has found a fight onto Zoom. This time, Zoom is a whole lot harder to kill, though. He's got himself that Abyssal Mask. He's upgraded it, and he can protect his jungle. Now it's his turn to turn this one around. Crisp flashes over the wall, though. That means that FPX have to disengage. Bit of a weird cannon barrage there.
Yeah, just trying to stop the follow-up from JDG, because if they'd managed to get over onto the wall, would have been able to stay Crisp, and now FPX will at least be in a position to try and defend this turret, but not sure if they'll be able to.
I don't know about that one, because JDG are looking real strong. They'll finish this one off. Arrow goes in, but it's on to Zoom. He's happy to tank this one, finds a knock-up as well, and in goes Kanavi, Facebreaker. There's a Moonlight Vigil, and a kill for Kanavi onto LWX, now DoomB. Desperate to escape, but a death sentence. And a beautifully named ability for what it does right there. JDG find 2, and they're running a Baron.
They can take this. They actually have so much damage right now between Loken and Yagao, but you've got Zoom with the TP. He'll be able to come back in towards this pit. And what a play again. You get the knock-up from Zoom, which is already disastrous for FPX, but Kanavi just pops in. It's like, oh, hi guys, welcome to the Facebreaker.
Well, Khan, it's time to show what you're made of right here. Gets a bit of damage onto Kanavi. I don't see a way for Tian to get into this pit here. Baron will be taken. Tian knocked up, and he might just be taken down as well. Yagao easily has the damage. In fact, it's Zoom to grab that kill for himself. 9-7 on the scoreboard, and a 22-minute Baron for JDG.
It would have been a miracle for Tian to get into that pit. No flash, no ultimate either. He's not able to get over the wall, but here we go. Kanavi, Hex Flash, straight over the wall, and LWX. Like, every time Kanavi manages to find them, and it is not going well for the Ashe.
And I just love that the kill is taken by the showstopper as well. Fully dunks LWX in the fight. And that play right there and the play earlier at Dragon coming out from Kanavi are what have set JDG ahead in this game with a tremendous lead. There is a full item and a half advantage for Loken over LWX.
And that's not even taken into account that it's a Molten Edge. He's got the upgrade now as well. Like, Loken's running away with this. He's happy as Larry. He's got all the items he needs to take over these team fights. And if you even get close enough to breathe on him, you are going to die for FPX, because Tien is not tanky enough. You can see he's gone for the Knight's Vow. He's trying to go towards something like a Bramble Vest to try and reduce Loken's impact, but it's going to be too little too late. Loken's massive.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to reduce the impact of this kind of level of Aphelios right now. He's only 2-0-2 on the scoreboard, but he's 50 CS up. And he has got a whole bunch of turret plates, he's got a whole bunch of bonus gold, and he's got a whole bunch of items. Zoom starting to siege in the bottom side of the map here. And just as we're talking about it, you can see it visualized right there. The ridiculous advantage, 3,500 gold in the AD carry alone.
It is absolutely insane. And what you try and do is FPX here. I mean, JDG have Baron, they're sieging up, they're only...
Tell me, you're the analyst.
I know, well, that's the problem, is they are trying to have DoomB play off into a side lane, but he's not strong enough to deal with Yagao after all the pressure that went mid in the early stages of the game, and FPX are about to lose their bottom inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, this is rough right now for FPX, as they've got to try and find some miracle fight, some way to start something, but this inhibitor, I don't think they can defend it. I don't think even if they go for a fight that this is winnable right now. Lumao looking for a hook, but doesn't quite connect. And the siege can continue all day long. Still 40 seconds on this Baron. Loken just going to be able to throw these turrets out to keep doing the damage. He's got the Calibrum for range onto this inhibitor as well. And in the meantime, Yagao just sets it up in the mid lane.
And you've got no real hope here. FPX trying to look for the engage in Yagao.
The hope is a play onto Yagao, but Dredge line is going to go wide, and that means now JDG, they make the counter play. Into the base they go. Tian jumps into the middle of the fray, but he's not going to be able to finish anybody off. Zoom just tanking the tower in the meantime. Khan just getting 1v1 by the AD carry here as Loken annihilates every minion in sight, and now he moves his eyes over towards FPX's health bars. LWX went down during the scrap, but this is going to be a second inhibitor. And I don't think JDG are going to try and force the issue on the game just yet, but I mean, the game is just about done.
And we said JDG were back on form. They're showing it massively in this game. 7-win streak for our Spring Split champions, looking to make it 8 here today. And with performances across the board, I'm not surprised that they're making this a swift game 1 against FPX. Look at how Kanavi set up this early game. Getting Yagao several of these kills, working the second that Destiny became available for the Twisted Fate to get him 2 kills, to get this quick Rod of Ages. And from that point on, they were picking off several members of FPX. And Loken now, absolutely huge as a result of these fights. There's so little left standing for FPX in their own base.
And just look at Loken throughout this fight as well. He's just a kid in a candy store, just dancing around the base, autoing whoever he wants, whoever he fancies, basically no pressure. I mean, what do you even do if you're FPX here?
I mean, that's my thought process here as well, because you've tried to get onto Loken, he's got Severum, he's hitting everyone with the Runins, with the Phantom Dancer, and then as well, you're moving in towards a position where, well, Tien isn't strong enough to kill him. You just killed Doomby. LWX is gone. Khan's running to try and get on towards Yagao. So Loken's under no real threat that entire fight.
So now we need some kind of miracle play to come through for FPX if they want to get themselves back into this game. And let's bear in mind, they do have this Ashe for LWX. So there's a lot of pick potential on the side of FPX. But JD is smarter than that, right? This is a team that is going to stay grouped for the rest of this entire game.
The issue with that, though, is Yagao does need to be able to deal with Doomby, but, I mean, they don't, like, this isn't an issue because, well, Doomby has managed to just about push out the super creeps in the bottom lane, and Yagao's like, oh, I'm just going to group as 5 with the rest of you, and, like, I mean, you're not even to steal away my Destiny or anything, you got to TP in as Kanavi goes for the play.
Yeah, Kanavi jumps over the wall here, Call of the Forge God going to be used. Doomby misses the second half of it, though. LWX. That's not the way we wanted to see that arrow. I said miracle play, not disastrous play. Now in towards the top side they go. And we just reset and begin again for JDG.
It may not be the miracle play, but it definitely felt like a Hail Mary for FPX. And it's a swing and a miss as now JDG can push in through this top side. It's the last inhibitor standing for FPX.
All FPX can do at this point is pray to PP God himself. Khan going to be able to survive with an orange there, but that's a 3rd inhibitor going down from the side of JDG. They've cleared the entire base. And guess what? Baron's up in 15 seconds, just as a cherry on top.
Yeah, and what do you try and do here? If you're FPX, you've got 3 inhibitors down. You've got a Baron up waves pushing into your base. This is impossible to stop.
What you do right now is you go back to the drawing board and look towards what can happen for the next game of this series, because unless Tian can just jump over the wall and make some kind of insane steal.
If Tien dies, though,
look,
the whole game goes down.
They're committing to this one, but the gold lead is still 8,000, and that is going to be the end of LWX already. Loken finishes the kill as Crisp jumps into the fray as well, but he's just not tanky enough. 2 kills for the Aphelios, and the only thing I'm looking at is how many kills can Loken get in this fight. There's the triple. Now on towards doing B as well. A crit would do the job, but Yagao steals it. That's just rude.
Ah, come on. But either way, JDG will close out this game in a commanding fashion, and FPX are just left scratching their heads.
Well, you know what? When we came into this one saying this is the modern grudge match of the LPL, JDG say it's not much of a grudge, it's more a pest control right now. 1-0 for JDG as they crush FPX in 30 minutes.
And it just looked like JDG had full control of this game from the get-go. There was some moments where FPX looked